Welcome to the Eastern Front, my friends. We are here in Kharkov, 1942. The only tanks we have, no T-34s, just BT-7s. Not the greatest tank in the world, sometimes can get the job done. And we only actually have control over this army over here on the right side. We do control this army, but we don't get to actually move them before the battle. Now, the good news here is that we're on quite an open, icy plain, and I'm hoping it's going to make it a lot easier for us to actually spot any enemy targets coming our way. I'm going to go ahead, though, and spread out our AT guns just to kind of get, like, an even view on all sides, and also maybe even bring up some infantry to kind of defend these guys in case the Germans start approaching with infantry, because they are supposed to be on an attack, but the weird thing is we are actually in this operation on our own attack. So if we decide that maybe it's a good idea to actually counterattack in this operation, might not be such a bad idea, might not be such a bad risk to take. That being said, my friends, we're going to get started here, and as always here in Graviteam Tactics Mius Front, we will get back when the action begins. Just real quickly here, folks, I did want to move these BT-7s separately as they approach the actual front line, so what I'm going to do, I don't want to actually move them all forward, I just want to kind of spread them out a bit, so we're just going to give them that order. It'll take them a while to comply, but they should get moving, and you guys can get these nice animations. This is the new DLC, and the new construction of a nice, beautiful BT-7 tank. Even though it's not the greatest tank in the world, it is quite pretty in this DLC. So we're going to go ahead and sort of spread these guys out. I don't think I want to do any sort of attack, although, of course, we could go for an attack if we wanted to right there. I'm going to wait and see what the enemy does. Another thing I will do, I'll move some of the infantry up, but it's just going to be a sort of covert move, a slower move. I don't really want to contact Germans on our Eastern Front, guys, and our AT guns are absolutely trying to pop the enemy off. The problem is here, they've got a ton of smoke grenades. As you can see, they're just throwing those in front of their tanks, trying to stop us from destroying them, but of course our trusty gunners are doing the best they can here with the 53K. I'm not familiar with this one. I thought it would be a ZIS-7. This is a 53K. So again, early war guns, early war tanks, etc. We're also starting to get some mortar fire on the enemy right there, which is helping at least to minimize their infantry. But I'm thinking, you know, now that we see these tanks here, we might want to go ahead and move our BT-7s up. The issue is right there is a victory point, and I'm thinking, yeah, sure enough, there's going to be some actual Germans hanging out there. Let's maybe just take a few of these tanks. Just one of them, and I'm going to send this guy over here on a fast move. Our infantry, we actually sent a few infantry units forward here on an attack. Not all of them, but I do want to get an attack started against the enemy at this point. So we are going ahead and getting into the fight, and as we do that, I will also move up the BT-7s. So let's go for it. We'll do an attack with one of them with the other one. I'm just going to fast move them forward. I just want to get a kill on one of the enemy tanks, honestly, but since it's early war, anything helps. It really does. Showing the Germans that we are not going to just fold is going to be a huge help to our whole army. Look at that. Fire away, boys. It is beautiful. We are getting to that next front there. I just love to see all the Mosins firing at once. There'll be some SVTs in there too, or did those come later in the war? Now the bad news is I just saw some mortar fire coming from the German side. They're well dug in too. We're absolutely going to need our tanks to assist us with this one. So let's get that BT-7. Come on, baby. Show off how cool you are, Mr. BT-7. Actually, it'd be really nice if we could hit the machine gun back there, but that might be asking a little too much. Whoa! Please tell me that was not a hit against us. He's okay. I think that was just maybe him firing, if that's possible. It's a hell of a shot. So here we go, guys. Kharkov, 1942. Not the legendary Battle of Kharkov, but one of many battles near Kharkov. And this is, of course, just a small portion of it. We know it's going to be absolutely brutal out here. That's kind of why we got into this one. Show the Germans that we are not beat yet. Let's take a look over here on the right side. And it looks like they're not managing to get anywhere close to our men over here, but they are moving down the center a little bit, which is kind of worrying me. It's not particularly an important location, but I'm wondering why they're putting so many men there. Oh, come on. He can absolutely hit that tank. He can absolutely hit that tank. Come on, Tavarishi. So when it shows up as white, it essentially says that he can spot it quite easily. Gonna try and make sure he's aiming at that thing. And he just doesn't want to follow orders on this one. Come on, man. I need you to follow orders. There we go. A little bit closer. A lot closer, actually. Go on. Oh, that was almost a direct hit, guys. We got to get Shatupov also firing in the same way. Although I believe Shatupov may have lost their gun. That is too bad. Alright, here we go. We've got another one here. And he can also spot that enemy tank, even though it's quite far. That's the only problem there, is the distance. Let's go over here on the assault front, as we call it. It's a vicious little area. I'm starting to see enemy armor, which is definitely cause for concern. Going to be throwing everything it got at us, and right now it seems to be artillery fire. I want to make sure that both of these tanks, though, are aiming at that enemy vehicle. Let's get up close and personal and see what we're dealing with here. Is that a Panzer III? Maybe a Panzer IV even? Could even be a Panzer IV. Looks pretty thick. Pretty thick. And as you can see, wow, tremendous artillery fire there. We do still have a tank back here. I guess we can push him forward, but I'm definitely not pushing him forward through this artillery barrage. That would just be suicide. We also got a lot of infantry units over here that we can use in this assault. And I think it's important, especially since, again, we want to be as vicious as possible, and we need to take as many points as possible here to secure a victory. So it might not be a bad idea to go ahead and grab a big group of our men and charge. But all the way back here, because we've already got these men here to provide covering fire. I am going for it. Of course, this all relies on whether or not we can destroy that enemy tank. That's very important. Safronov searching for the tank. He cannot see him because of all the smoke. Some of our uniforms, it's hard to even tell the difference between the Germans and the Soviets, and I'm sure the same confusion happens on the battlefield, especially in a snowy battlefield like this one. We're definitely getting shots on that tank, and we are not managing to take it out. What is... Our Soviets actually... Nice shot! Looks like he might be trying to go for a satchel throw. Maybe not. He did just get a nice hit on the side of that thing, but it was not enough to kill it. Stop. Just pinged right off the damn thing. Again, certainly the Soviets had issues early war dealing with German armor, just trying to penetrate it, period. I think we may have damaged this guy. He's been hit a bunch of times. But he might just be fine. No, he's fine. He's definitely fine. I do see some smoke there, but that could just be him trying to rev his engine. So we don't know for sure that we've destroyed him, although incredible job so far by Safronov and the other tanker. And trying to kill this German. I really hope that's an engine fire. I don't think it is, though. You can actually see the rounds that have hit over here, but still haven't penned as far as I can tell. What about over here? Did we ever manage to penetrate that tank? And unfortunately not. We did stop the infantry assault, though. And that tank continues to move forward. He's still a threat. Big time. I guess these guys are fishing for an impossible goal here. Come on, guys. Actually like to see the movement of the gun there. That is really cool. But come on, we need them focused on this side of the battlefield. I don't care about a lone tank all the way out in the distance. Right now, there might just be too much terror on the battlefield for our guys to move, and as you can see, we are still not destroying that armor, man. He remains alive. This is like the German version of Fury. He remains alive. We're still firing everything we've got at him, but it's not making much of a difference. And as you can see, the Germans, especially early war, they've got plenty of men to fight for them. They are advancing with a lot of actual infantry, but we managed to kill a good number of them. And that's why I do want to continue the assault. I want to stack those numbers up. So we've got these boys that we started moving in on the left flank. They're nice and spread out. I like this. I definitely want to go ahead and make sure they're all targeting that German group there. If we can't take out their tank, there's no reason for us to stop firing at their infantry. What kind of gun is that? It is a PPSH. I don't know why I didn't immediately recognize that. It looks a little older. Is that possible? I know there's a Swarmy Finnish version of the PPSH. Oh! That may have done it, guys. Finally knocked out the German tank. It took us long enough. It looks like that was probably spalling, because there was no actual fire, no penetration as far as I can see. That was just an explosion within the enemy tank from the consistent fire. And this definitely gives us a fighting chance here against the infantry. Now we can turn the glorious BT-7 against the fascist dogs. Look at that. I love it. He's got a new purpose now, and he can certainly continue to be very, very useful. You can see the rounds actually landing over there. Those Germans are taking a pounding. No wonder nobody wanted to be on the Eastern Front. Absolute nightmare. Now, nonetheless, look at this. Still not killed that tank. Just seems like an impossible task. We are hitting it, as you can see. We just hit it with another AT gun, AT gun. What's wrong with me? Sorry, I'm entire here. Not AT rifle, but AT gun rounds several times, and it's just not phasing these guys. Hopefully, we'll get a lucky shot like we did earlier with the tanks. But I wouldn't bet on it, to be honest with you. I really wouldn't. Love to just track this damn thing. Just knock it off its actual tracks, but even that is, seems a little bit difficult. Come on, boys. Probably aim ahead of this thing if we want to get a hit on it. Now, if we get attacked from the flank, this is going to be a terrible position. We're going to get shot in the back. But again, I'm thinking like the only chance we have is for these guys to get a lucky shot through the side armor. And maybe even then, distance is going to be a factor, where we need to be close enough to even pen the side armor. This thing's going to be a problem for us. Let's just put it that way. Let's see how this line is going over here. And we actually do have that tank that we left behind. We can push him forward as well. We'll actually fast move him. Our BT-7s fear nothing. As long as there are no Panzer IIIs or Panzer IVs on the field, we own this battlefield. Good shooting, boys. Forward. Best of luck, Safronov. Looks like another German artillery strike, if I'm not mistaken. They definitely want to stop this Soviet assault. And it seems at least with the initial assault we did, they have succeeded. Or maybe not. We've actually got some units all the way up here, advancing on the German lines. Helping these guys and like charging into those tanks over there. I I just feel like the distance is just far too great for that to even work. It's just too far away. It's not going to work out. So we might as well just continue our attack, and here pretty much just hold on for dear life pretty much. Alright, another BT-7 on the way, and this one has not yet seen any actual action. He's going to get a chance here to prove himself. Nice. This thing has such a epic shot. You know, it just completely rattles the ground around us. Yet it's such a tiny little tank. It's really launching in the medium. I'm not trying to put you down, BT-7, but you're not the most impressive tank. He has an easy shot with that turret. Look at that, man. These Germans are beat up. They are badly beat up all over the place. But as you can see, they still have mortars here. I love the German mortars. They're very mobile, as you can see. Easily fired, easily moved. And that's another reason we really need to overrun that position. Every man in the Red Army still alive here? Go. Charge. This artillery is going to wipe us out one way or the other. We might as well try and go out in a blast of glory. Driving over our own 10 men. No, actually, that's a German. That's a German. It's okay. There we go. Look at this BT-7. Kill them all. Bunch of German officers back here. It would be nice to take out the German officer class here in Russia, especially early war. It was quite good, and it does have some experience from Poland, possibly France as well. So this is definitely a group of officers we want to try and destroy entirely. That's why I brought the BT-7 up so close. It is risky, but I get the feeling he's going to be able to handle this. Make sure that machine gun is firing. Doesn't even have a machine gun. German tank is going right past us, and again, without our AT guns being able to hit him, he's really just going to have the shooting party of his life, pretty much. Don't have as many dead men as I expected, but you can see situations over here where, as you can see, our boys are just surrendering. Oh, that's the kind of hit we need. You see what I'm talking about, folks? And he's still going. That thing is still going. Perfect hit. But of course, just from the terror of the enemy armor, unfortunately, some of our men are surrendering. Drive over them, Safronov. Safronov is not a little too far ahead. Backing up on his own horn. Beautiful. If only we had just a few more infantry companies. We do still have a lot of infantry here, though. Although, of course, they have been pretty badly beat up during this fight. Most of their comrades fell in battle. But a good number of them will probably be able to be patched up and bring them back in another fight. Not all is lost. Yeah, that guy is still alive. Unbelievable. I mean, I have to give it to the German engineers, not to the actual tanker himself, but the engineers have just made this thing almost impossible to destroy. What was that smoke? I think he just popped a smoke grenade. Back to the front. Oh, a perfect hit there on a German officer. Just immediately vaporizing that guy. This entire landscape is beaten up, not just our men. We can see the shattered trees, the shell holes, the fragments everywhere. This is crazy. And again, another artillery strike on our position. The Germans are just throwing everything they've got at us. I'm hoping that at least with this battle, we're at least forcing them to waste a lot of material, a lot of supplies, just to fire all those rounds at essentially nothing. Nice! Looks like our tank has spotted. Is he firing at the armor? I was hoping he was firing at the armor. Looks like he isn't. We could try to send him off out there to fight the enemy armor. But again, the distance just seems a bit far. We'll go ahead and push him anyway because we should be moving consistently in this area. It's easy for an enemy unit to get behind us and destroy us. But look at all those dead Germans. Dead Commandant, a bunch of dead soldiers, MP40s lying all over the ground. I think it's been a pretty successful operation, especially for an early war fight. So what I am going to do, even though I really don't think we can win this one, is I think I'm going to try and send my tanks over there to try and take on the enemy tanks, pretty much. We'll get out of this area. We've done as much damage as we're going to do. You know, obviously we could sit around with the BT-7s firing, etc., but I think we've done pretty well. So now we'll try and knock out some enemy armor. Shots there, and I don't see enemy armor in this area, so you know what? I'm going to head left. It seems that somebody has spotted us. I'm not sure who, but somebody has definitely spotted us. In fact, we may have just lost this tank. Absolutely, he's off his track. They're going to abandon the vehicle, and I can't see who's firing at us. Look forward, Safranov. Are you crazy? Still firing here. Man has got just absolute battle fever here, trying to knock out as many Germans as possible. That guy just blew up into little tiny bits, but we really need him to look forward. Come on, man. I get it, but just look forward. He's turning that turret. Do still have Goyalkin and a few infantry back here, but I'm pretty sure these guys are retreated from the front lines, so I'm going to keep them here. There's no reason to really get them killed. We'll have them look forward so they can engage the enemy if they need to, but other than that, I'm really not going to mess around with it. Another hit here. There's got to be an enemy tank that we're just not spotting. Got to know when to cut and run as well, my friends. We might be doing just that. We'll take a look at this tank here. Is he still firing at us? He isn't, but he's now advancing once again, and we are taking consistent artillery shots here. I was really hoping for the enemy to send us a truce. It's just Murphy's Law that anytime we want a truce, they won't send it to us, and anytime we don't want a truce, they're immediately asking for a truce. So I think we'll stick it in there just a little bit longer with BT-7. Try and take out a few more Germans and see if they don't call for a truce here just because of the amount of men they're losing. I don't like that they're sending infantry close to the tank. He's not a T-34. He is easily destroyed. Oh my goodness, another tank? Got another BT-7. This is one of the lead BT-7s. And I definitely see that enemy armor right there. That's the one we gotta go for. Stepanov. Safronov, I mean. Safronov. Don't be stupid here. Turn. What is wrong with him? Here we go. The enemy tank is advancing here. Safronov is just stopped for some reason. man. Malfunction on Safronov's tank. Wow, that's interesting. Not something I would see before, or I've seen before in Graviteam Tactics. But he's got a perfect visual there on the German tank. Getting a shot through the side. Is it enough? Oh my goodness. Insufficient command points. We finally run out. I mean, we have been issuing commands all over the place during this battle. I haven't even been paying attention to our command points with all the craziness that's happened. Looks like we also ran over this poor German soldier. That's what you get. That's what Uncle Joe. Oh, and that's a dead tank. Guys, they have abandoned it. They have abandoned it. She is abandoned. Wow, another one. And again, I'm not sure if the enemy is going to allow any sort of truce to happen here. They do pretty much control the entire area, unfortunately. Even though we're doing better on the battlefield right now. It's really not sufficient. I'm going to push onto that enemy tank, though. I am just so happy. Look at that. He's still driving, which means that it was probably a penetrating hit. Actually, some of the guys got out, you can see there. But they forgot to turn the engine off, and that thing is just going to keep on rolling for the rest of the battle. Za Rodinu, my friends. Za Rodinu indeed. Might have some malfunction here, and it's going to be the AT gun, of course. He just, you know, hasn't been his day. Let's put it that way. Oh my goodness, maybe it has. Another enemy tank destroyed, guys. Looks like our AT gun did manage to kill the enemy tank. Absolutely incredible. Now, the scary thing is the Germans had some forces back here, or perhaps they flanked us with some forces, and they are attacking our rear. So I'm going to try and issue some guys to attack that area, but again, we do have a lack of command points. It's really down to the boys at this point, but I think that's a pretty cool situation that we managed to take out that much German armor here. Get for what you've done to the Soviet people. Yep, one of our BT-7s bit the dust right there. And I'm guessing Safronov will probably be the next to bite the dust. He's been very brave so far. He's done an incredible job. But I don't think it's going to be enough. The German army is still very strong. I hope today I taught them a bit of a lesson. Let's try and get Safronov away from this area. Not the safest area in the world. Still not a single ceasefire offer. That is very surprising. We've got to have more armor out here. Because so far, the amount of men they've lost, this should be reason enough for them to surrender. Look at that. We actually took one of them out with an MG-42. Really cool uniforms here, too. And I'm not sure if these are specifically early war. Is it just me, or did it get much brighter there? So, yeah. Oh, wow. The sun is really out now. It's going to be very easy to spot just about anything out on this icy tundra. Safronov is deciding to, I guess, fight to the end here. Still some infantry combat going on with the remnants of our men here. And what's this? Is this? I don't think this is a machine gun truck. Really nice just to have one little technical, essentially. Nice technical with a machine gun on top to bring to the front lines here and try and knock out a few more Germans. just in a bad area of trajectory as well. He's kind of firing at the land in front of him. And now, once again, another German artillery strike on our position. They're going to end up taking out some of their own men with this, for sure. I mean, they've got their men all around this area. They're doing all of this to try and kill Safronov. Come on, man. I don't think he's tracked. Immobilized him. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. I usually tell visually here. I didn't see the tracking, but he's not technically tracked. He's just stopped. He can't move. The engine could be dead. The engine is running, though. We can see that running, or that could also be the mortar, sorry. But I can hear it, at least. I can hear that engine, so yeah, I'm not sure what the issue is, but for whatever reason, his tank is not moving. It's staying put. Looks like we may have stopped that German push. And I am really, really proud of these guys finally taking out that tank. As you can see, though, early war here, none of the enemy tanks exploded into flames like they do late war when we've got those beautiful AP rounds. Here, they just kind of like fizzle out. The crew leaves, and that's the end of that. That's pretty much what we get here, unless we get a perfect shot, right through the engine to try and explode one of these tanks. But we pounded away with these BT-7s. I would say maybe 5 to 10 hits with the BT-7s, and maybe 10 to 15 or 15 to 20 with the AT guns. I think maybe what finally was the deciding factor was that guy got really close to the AT gun and we were able to actually penetrate. There you go, man. They're not stopping. This is actually right now our mortar fire. The Red Army is firing some mortars here, trying to help Safronov. Who knows? He could be calling in these coordinates himself. Tried to actually run up on us there. Not very lucky. Riddled with bullets. Truly riddled with bullets. But it does look like they might be making a concerted push to take out Safronov. I see some grenades being thrown. Oh, yep, they're going for him. Our hero, the hero of this battle, man. Try to turn him around. Turn his turret around anyway. And the only other thing we could do, really, is to grab this group, which there's not many of them left, let's be honest, and attack the Germans over here. Try and cause more casualties. But I think we've done enough. I really think we've done enough. We shouldn't push our luck. We've already gone as far as we can with Safronov. We're probably going to lose all the tanks in this area. If we can knock out a few more enemy officers like this guy, hey, yeah, beautiful. Looks like it would be more of an Unteroffizier or staff sergeant, something like that. But as long as the machine gun can still fire, I guess we shouldn't really retreat. Potentially cause some friendly fire with our men all the way over there. You can see a few Germans. Look at this, man. Look at this. They've gotten this far. Closing in. Actually sneaking up on our group here. And there we go. The ceasefire has been given. I'll gladly accept. Never have I wanted to accept a ceasefire so badly in the existence of this game, but I think we've done a good job, guys. Can't wait to see the casualties. Early 1942, this is not something the Germans would have expected. They expected to roll right over us without any sort of fight. Just easy Soviet prey, and we have put up a hell of a fight. Of course, losing a lot of men in the process, but absolutely showing some serious ferocity. Certainly a lot more than the French did, let's put it that way. Here we go. Take a look at these casualties. It is a minor defeat. 25 killed on our side, 117 heavily wounded, 38 killed on the German side with 76 heavily wounded. And of course, the problem here missing, we had 14 of our men surrender. Traitors to the motherland. absolute traitors. And of course, 2 lost vehicles on each side. So it looks like our glorious tanker did manage to make it through to the very end, which is pretty cool. Well done. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this battle, please do make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd recommend you also hit the bell because it's, often YouTube doesn't send notifications right away. With the bell, you will be able to get notifications every single time I upload a video. Thank you so much, guys. Spasiba. I'll catch you on the next one.